Flappy Bird wasn't the result of a multi-million-dollar spark of innovation fueled by corporate greed, but rather the creation of a passionate and humble Vietnamese developer. Born out of a simple concept to entertain himself over a weekend of coding, Nguyen released the first version of Flappy Bird into the iOS App Store in May of 2013. The game looked like nothing special and was swept under the radar, with its retro graphics and simplistic gameplay. However, Nguyen's persistence and belief in his spark of creativity paid off. Despite the slow start, Flappy Bird began to gain traction among mobile gamers. Those who appreciated its old-school charm and addictive gameplay took Flappy Bird as their next big challenge. The game's simplicity worked in its favor, as it offered a refreshing break from the increasingly complex mobile games stagnating around. Even if Flappy Bird appears to have been meticulously designed over time by a massive development team, it was created by Nguyen in his spare time. Using classic arcade-style games as a starting point and the goal of creating something genuinely unique, he transformed Flappy Bird into a simple yet difficult game that would awe people all around the globe as a global sensation. As Flappy Bird continued to rise up the ranks, Nguyen found himself struggling to keep up with the surge. The players kept pouring in, and soon overwhelmed the game's servers, which led to frequent crashes and continuous lapses in connectivity. Despite these setbacks, Flappy Bird's addictive gameplay kept players coming back for more, rocketing the indie title to the trending list in the App Store. The journey of Flappy Bird from a fun weekend project to an internet phenomenon is a testament to the immense potential within the digital world. Nguyen's creativity and innovation paid off as the game became a sensation within the gaming community, capturing the hearts of millions. Flappy Bird's success serves as a reminder that not everything has to be complex and surreal. Even the simplest of concepts, if executed with care and passion, have the potential to succeed. A passionate indie game maker stands as the catchphrase of Nguyen's Twitter bio. Quite the humble description, considering his achievements. What's rather peculiar about Nguyen is his exceedingly normal and realistic life. He lived and dreamed just like us. He loved video games, spent his time chain-smoking in the streets of Hanoi, and was packed with daily work from his job and university. Nguyen loved Super Mario Bros., and his passion for gaming was a result of his extended gaming sessions. He loved the retro consoles that most of us grew up with, and wanted to breathe life into the dying 8-bit graphic games, introducing them to more modern gaming communities. He started his IT career by attending the Hanoi University of Science and Technology, pursuing a degree in programming. Even though he was swamped with work, Nguyen continued developing his passion for games through side projects. One weekend, he was struck with the urge to create a game that lacked the complexity of modern games, but was fun to play. Over the following weekends, he breathed life into his first successful game, which we all loved and hated: Flappy Bird. Despite its humble beginnings, Flappy Bird's popularity skyrocketed in early 2014. Word of mouth and social media propelled the game to the top of the charts. Its addictive nature, coupled with the frustration-inducing difficulty, captured the attention of gamers worldwide. Suddenly, everyone was tapping away on their smartphones, trying to navigate the infamous pipes with a pixelated bird. As Flappy Bird climbed the App Store rankings, its creator, Nguyen, found himself thrust into the spotlight. Interviews and media appearances followed as the world clamored to learn more about the enigmatic developer behind this global phenomenon. Flappy Bird became more than just a game. It became a cultural touchstone, a symbol of the mobile gaming craze sweeping the globe. The rapid rise of Flappy Bird caught many by surprise, including Nguyen himself. What started as a modest side project had transformed into a worldwide sensation, with millions of players downloading the game and sharing their high scores with friends. Flappy Bird's addictive gameplay and minimalist design struck a chord with players of all ages, transcending cultural and linguistic barriers to become a global phenomenon. As Flappy Bird's popularity soared, Nguyen found himself facing a new set of challenges. The game's unexpected success brought with it a flood of attention, both positive and negative. Critics praised Flappy Bird's addictive gameplay and nostalgic charm, while others derided it as a mindless distraction or a blatant ripoff of existing titles. Despite the controversy, Flappy Bird continued to dominate the App Store charts, cementing its status as a cultural phenomenon. Unlike most other games that were hitting the market at the time, Flappy Bird was a simple game at its core. The player's sole focus was controlling a flapping bird on the screen, which moved up and down by flapping its wings. The game's objective was deceptively simple as well. Simply navigate the bird through the maze of green pipes, a recurring design from the likes of the Super Mario series. Every time the player evades a pipe, they will earn a point, and when they fail to do so, the game will end. No extra lives, no power-ups, nothing else. The genius design behind Flappy Bird was a major factor in its success. Even though Flappy Bird is minimalistic in its design, the game has a set of clearly defined intuitive controls. Every tap propels your feathered friend through a maze of obstacles, and every second tests their patience and unwavering perseverance. Even though the gameplay appears to be straightforward, mastering Flappy Bird requires a healthy dose of perseverance, precision, and rock-solid reflexes. Through exploration of Flappy Bird's gameplay principles, players learn the finer points that distinguish success from failure. To make sure the bird escapes every pipe unharmed, each screen tap needs to be precisely timed. The difficulty is striking the right balance between going too high and going too low, while avoiding the constant risk of colliding. The gameplay of Flappy Bird is surprisingly easy, despite its innate difficulty. Players are kept interested and motivated to return by the recurring challenge that each try offers. Flappy Bird's ability to create an engaging gameplay loop and strike a fine balance between aggravation and reward accounts for its addictive nature. What differentiates Flappy Bird from other mobile games is its punishing difficulty. Navigating the bird through the countless narrow gaps and pipes requires precise timing, and continuously achieving it meticulously proved to be a formidable challenge. Most players often found themselves at the end screen, frustrated at their failure, but driven to play again by their desire to surpass their previous high scores. The frustration of imminent failure and the repetition only fueled the game's popularity amongst the gaming community. Hardcore gamers reveled in the challenge, as they found immense satisfaction in breaking high scores posted on Reddit. Casuals were driven to the brink of madness due to the unforgiving nature of Flappy Bird. Most players kept deleting the game, swearing never to touch it again. But no matter how infuriating the game was, players just kept coming back for more. Everyone was determined to conquer the game that had managed to capture the world. Even though players faced an endless struggle, navigating through the treacherous obstacles within Flappy Bird, they all discovered a unique sense of accomplishment. Every successful pass through the maze of pipes was followed by a rush of adrenaline and a feeling of triumph. Even though the game was inherently difficult, players remained loyal to the cause, pushing through the endless levels and using their skills to raise the bar for the highest score within the game. But what made Flappy Bird so addictive? The addictive nature of Flappy Bird was a peculiar result due to the combination of the game's punishing nature, a relentless test of one's reflexes, and the perseverance needed to plow through each second. Even though Flappy Bird was immensely frustrating, players continued to grind the game, driven by the endless desire to overcome the odds and achieve that sweet, sweet high score. Flappy Bird was not your everyday video game. The game transcended way beyond the realm of gaming, as it soon became a cultural phenomenon within the digital world. Memes, parodies, and even merchandise flooded to catering to the millions of players worldwide. Celebrities and influencers took onto social media, jumping in on the bandwagon as they shared their experience playing the game to their followers. Flappy Bird was simplistic and addictive, which made it a game for all ages. Everyone from elementary school to the seniors at church were busy tapping away. Flappy Bird was not your average game. The game reached the level of Halo and Call of Duty without being overly competitive or complex. The game's influence extended beyond the scope of its original gaming community. Its unique style and addictive gameplay made Flappy Bird a prime target for counterfeit imitators and spin-offs. But none could capture even a fraction of the magic that made Flappy Bird a household name. From viral videos to Halloween costumes, Flappy Bird was just everywhere. The game got so big that even researchers from various fields started to show interest in the topic. Psychology and sociology scholars began various studies on the addictive nature of the game and its effect on the player's behavior over time. The title served as a case study within the scientific community, as it was a prime example of the power of gamification and the allure of simple yet challenging mini-games. In addition to what's previously been mentioned, Flappy Bird proved the spontaneous nature of success within the digital world and the influence of social media on popular culture. Flappy Bird's popularity was fueled by word of mouth and the viral marketing that followed through with it. This demonstrated the power of grassroots promotion even within the digital era. The game became more than just another video game or app. It was a symbol of uncertainty and success within the modern world, where a trend can spark and spread like wildfire, causing a snowball effect. The enduring legacy of Flappy Bird is a testament to its impact on popular culture. Though the game may have faded from the spotlight, its influence lives on in the countless memes, parodies, and tributes that continue to circulate online. Flappy Bird may have been a fleeting sensation, but its imprint on the cultural landscape remains indelible. Even though the game was a global success, it was not without controversies. Some critics accused Flappy Bird and its creator Nguyen of promoting anxiety and frustration, citing its addictive nature and its merciless difficulty. Soon, health-centric individuals started to raise their voices on the negative impact of Flappy Bird, as many players struggled to cope with the game's unforgiving nature. Even though Flappy Bird was an original design, it did have striking similarities with classical games in its genre. This became a major point of concern, as some started to accuse Nguyen of copying mechanisms, plagiarism, and copyright infringement. However, Nguyen stood tall against these accusations, holding his ground, as he simply stated that even though he gained inspiration through classic titles, copying them was never his intention. The sudden popularity and the mounting pressure due to accusations and controversies negatively affected Nguyen. His mental health had deteriorated significantly, which ultimately made him take the decision to remove the Flappy Bird game from app stores in February of 2014. Through a series of tweets, Nguyen expressed his reasons, addressing the game's addictive nature and the toll it was taking on the lives of players. This decision left the gaming community dazed, as fans and critics wondered what the future would hold for this beloved game. The announcement sparked a frenzy amongst gamers and fans, as they rushed to download Flappy Bird before its inevitable removal. Smartphones that were loaded with Flappy Bird became an item of exorbitant value, fetching surreal prices on online auction sites. The removal of the game only intensified the public's interest in Flappy Bird, as rumors of lawsuits and suicide spread around. Even though Flappy Bird's spotlight was short-lived, its impact on the industry is seen to this day. Flappy Bird was proof that anyone could make something great, and it serves as a pillar of motivation for indie developers. The game also showed how games don't need high-end graphics or complex controls to be addictive and successful, and that what matters most is being able to captivate the player base in a unique way. Indie developers are attempting to recreate the magic of Flappy Bird to this day, which, in a way, proves that Flappy Bird didn't truly die off. Flappy Bird came in like a whirlwind, and as quick as it came, it died off. The rise and fall of Flappy Bird was an eye-opener for many regarding the perils and unpredictable nature of the gaming industry. A passion-filled weekend project spiraled into what would be a worldwide sensation and blazed into nothingness. Even though Flappy Bird may not be available legally, its influence and looming presence can still be felt to date. Flappy Bird's spark of popularity also got the community of gaming devs thinking. Here's a game that lacked visually stunning graphics and complex mechanics, yet its success proved that simplicity can be just as engaging if implemented correctly. As a result, developers had to take a pause to rethink their approach and ideologies. Maybe it was better to pay more attention to intuitive controls and actual gameplay. The success of Flappy Bird was a beacon of hope for indie developers, as the game proved that if they were to tap into something great, they could go toe-to-toe with the likes of Nintendo, Namco, and other industry giants. The newly found democratization of game development was an eye-opener for aspiring developers, as it inspired them to pursue their creative visions and dreams. By observing how Flappy Bird rose in popularity, those within the gaming industry started to shift away from traditional marketing methods. Word of mouth and social media proved to be highly effective in promoting games to their user base, as a similar method was used by Flappy Bird to garner its massive player base. This grassroots approach utilized the concepts of organic traffic without paying for costly advertising campaigns. Finally, the addition to Flappy Bird's influence on the fields of game development and marketing, the game became an icon of perseverance. The iconic bird represented the countless hours and phones smashed as players pulled their hair out to achieve a new high score. In the years following the removal of Flappy Bird from gaming stores, Nguyen continued to develop video games, even making his own company. Gears was founded by Nguyen as his newest project following the success of Flappy Bird, and the gaming company soon partnered with Obo Kaidem. The Japanese developer has been the sole partner for Gears since its start, and they even released a brand new title named Ninja Spinky in 2015. While Nguyen has yet to replicate the success he achieved through Flappy Bird, the brief and impactful reign of the game was legendary. Countless copies and fakes still clutter the app stores, but none of them have managed to capture the lightning in a bottle that made Flappy Bird a global phenomenon.